Hey YouTube, it's Mike here, and today I'm bringing you guys a special video based on FIFA players' traits and specialties. A lot of people ask questions like how much of these things actually make a difference on a player. It's actually a very huge difference depending the players you use. It's it's one of those things that basically either make a player or break a player. And throughout the video, I'm gonna show you a few of the traits. For example, I'll show you a few of the cards, what they have, just to give you guys a bit of an example of what they mean and what they do, and why is it that sometimes when you're actually looking for a particular card, you're actually looking to basically, like, for example, like for a specific trait on a card that will make that card way better than, just based on stats. The card just becomes a way better card. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this type of video. I know there's a lot of people that probably don't look at these things as much. There's of course the ones that are really into the game itself and they look at every little detail possible of every player, and that's why certain players are more OP than others. So let's go ahead and let's go look at some of these awesome traits that there is in the game. So let's go ahead and actually read some of these. For example, one of the ones that I guess goalies have, for example, is called the long throw-in. And what it does, of course, what it says over here, it says it adds an extra distance to your throw-ins. So for example, good for launching attacks down the wing. So for example, if you're a type of guy that likes to counter attack a lot and you want to, like, go crazy with your goalie and those long passes on the wings, you would want to have a goalie that has the long throw-in, for example, as one of their traits. Let's go and see the second win. Second win is basically increase stamina at the end of a match. So a lot of times you look at certain players and you're kind of like disappointed the way they get tired throughout a game. So if you want somebody that basically is going to last throughout the whole game, or at least is going to give you that boost towards the end, this is one of the traits that you're looking for, because what it says over here, it says only for the last 10 minutes of any game you will see the difference. So if you're towards the end of a game and you need that player that shines at the end, if you would have second wind on them as a trait, it would definitely help you. Let's go. This one here is for acrobat clearance. Add spectacular defense clearance to your game. I'm not exactly sure, but facing the ball cleared before the striker. So it looks like maybe this. I know this is a defensive one, but I'm not exactly sure, because I haven't tested all these things out. I've been just reading and researching it, like most of you guys are doing, for the people that are interested in these type of things. But it looks like basically it's gonna help your defenders clear the ball much easier if they would have this trait. Let's go look at other ones. For example, early crosses adds more curl to your early ball from out wide, more effective with semi and manual crossing. It also explains that if you're using semi or manual crossing as your settings, this will actually help even a little bit more. So let's say, for example, you want a guy that on corners that crosses the ball and curves it in really nice, so you could try to get like a header for like a Ronaldo or something, like right at the edge of the box. You probably would want somebody that you use for the corners to have this trait over here. I mean, this is just a few of them. Let's go look at this other one. This one is actually very important. It's called finesse shot, right? Increase your side foot effectiveness in the front goal. So whenever you're doing any finesse shots, this is gonna basically help you out a lot to finish. I noticed that people that the cards that actually have this one here tend to finish way more than the ones that don't. So another one over here, for example, it's outside foot shot, unable to you to curl shots with the outside of the boot. It helps the attacking with weaker foot. So I guess this is one of those traits where if a person has a maybe a 3-star weak foot, but you still want to use him because you really enjoy his card, you may want to look into if he has one of these traits, for example, that's going to basically improve that 3-star or 4-star weak foot. I'm sure, like, you've noticed sometimes you play with certain cards and they're like 3-star weak foot, but for some reason when they actually do kick the ball, it doesn't feel like they're 3-star or 4-star. You may look into it. They may have this trait over here. Anyway, there's a lot of different ones, like not to go in detail with every single one, but there's a lot. Like, for example, one that a lot of people I noticed that like is called skilled dribbling. Enable you to perform the skilled dribbling control. Sticks to the player's feet more and helps the quick turns. For example, whenever you have a player that has skill dribbling, the ball seems to stay closer to his foot. So whenever you see somebody doing like these, I don't know all the names of the moves, but whatever, like the ball just stays closer to them. For example, guys like Messi or probably Ronaldo. Maybe I don't know if Ronaldo has it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does. But there's a lot of like good dribblers that probably have this as a trait, and it makes a big difference whenever you're just like basically, you know, like using skill moves and stuff like that. The ball pretty much stays glued to your foot, and for people that are skillers in this game, this would be one of those traits that would actually help you a lot. So I went out and I went and take one of my favorite cards just to give you guys a bit of a example of like what makes a card and what breaks a card. So I end up taking the 87 version of the Prime Del Piero. Why? Because this is actually a card that I've used throughout the game, and I noticed that when I used it, I actually used this card here after using the Prime Del Piero, and I didn't feel the same with the card itself. Now, I'm not gonna say I disliked the card, but I did feel some sort of I did notice some sort of difference whenever he was taking long shots, especially long shots. Like he just didn't have the same long shots that I was taking with, because I was using him as a cam. So I used Del Piero as a cam, and he wasn't performing as good as the Prime Del Piero, and I was kind of wondering, oh, maybe it's just his stats, you know, because it's a lower version. Maybe that's why he feels like that. But I was wrong. Actually, it was because he's actually missing an important trait that's not in this and not in this version, but it's actually in the Prime version. So as we look at the Prime version, we'll notice that he has two traits that I think do make a huge difference, especially on this card, and one of them is the shooting finesse, and this what makes a difference when I was taking long shots with him. He seemed to basically score a lot of long shots. Either, of course, he also has a 5-star weak foot, so it didn't really matter which foot I was using, but it was making a huge difference when I was taking those long shots with him. And it's crazy how when you look at a little thing like that, because you say, oh, well, it's, you know, it's two Del Piero version cards. Now one of them has it, one of them doesn't. And another thing I noticed also, of course, with the Prime Del Piero is that he has also the trait of playmaker. And for some people, you know, like they may not look at this one like that much of an important one, because like, oh, as long as he has like 80 passing, he should be good, short passing or whatever. And believe it or not, even if you have a card and it has like 90 vision and 90 passing, and if he actually has the playmaker trait, it's like he's so much better at passing the ball. It's like he sees the vision differently. Like sometimes, you know, like when he gives a through ball, especially through balls, I noticed that his through balls are like way more like on behind the defender. Like, you know, sometimes you do a true ball and for some reason you're like, why did he do it like on the left side when he could have done it easily, for example on the right side, where my player would have went easily, would have went for it. Instead, like sometimes it goes into like this weird angle between two defenders where the player running for the ball would never get there. Like, and that's basically, it's the factor of having, for example, this trait over here. If he has the playmaker trait, he tends to basically makes better through ball passes to your strikers, and let me tell you, it makes a huge difference. So I decided to go take a card that is OP, where a lot of people use Alexandrini. And if you look at his traits, he's got some of the most awesome ones. He's got the long shot one, he's got the speedler, dribbler, and technical dribbler. And a lot of people compare this card here to a Messi, and I don't blame them, because when you look at the traits that he has, it really makes him a OP card. Even if he's only an 82 overall, he does exceptional stuff on the pitch that make you basically want to have him as either a starting lineup or a super sub, based on the fact that he's just such an OP card, and it's based on the traits that he has. So what I'm trying to tell people is that if you go look into some of these cards, you'll notice certain traits that can really make it, like make a card or break a card. So I decided to take Ronaldo as my final card to show you guys a little bit about specialties. Reason why I picked Ronaldo is because he is the most OP card in the game and why a lot of people like to use him. And when you look at the specialties, you'll see that he has a lot of them. And what makes this card so crazy is based on the fact that he has so many of them. So, he's got the speedster, he's got the aerial threat, the dribbler, distance shooter, crosser, free kick specialist, acrobat, strength, clinical finisher, complete forward, and a poacher or peacher, whatever. I'm not exactly sure if I'm saying that one correctly. So you can understand why he's probably the most OP card in the game based on the fact that he has so many traits or specialties, and of course he's got like 99 throughout most of his stats, especially if we're looking at this one year, his team of the year. So at the end, I just wanted to basically share this video with you guys because I know a lot of people kind of don't look at these things, and I think you should, because I think Footbin is probably the best place to go, and go research some of the players that you like. So when you're building a team, you could actually look at certain cards, and they'll actually, maybe they'll have certain traits that you want, and that's gonna either, like I said, make or break the card, and you will probably gonna understand why certain cards perform certain ways. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I felt like I wanted to basically like show people that what there's a lot of stuff in FIFA that basically is not explained to us, and sometimes you basically have to go look and research things yourself. Now, none of these things that we see on Footbin or on other websites are totally 100% facts of these things, but these are stuff that people are assuming they do. We could be a bit off with some of these traits, the explanations of them and stuff like that, but the overall is that they do make a big difference to the players that you want to buy if they have certain traits that you probably want or specialties. Anyways, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.